Hello and good afternoon or good morning or good evening, and welcome very much to the second Affiliate Hustle live training inside the Affiliate Hustle Facebook group. So today we have another training ready for you, another live training. And in today's live training, we are going to talk about as well as create a VSL lander for a ClickBank campaign. So before we dive in, if you have any questions at what point, whenever you have any questions, just drop them in the comments and I can pick it up and answer your questions for you. So like I said, today we will be focusing on a VSL lander, a video sales lander, which we are going to make for a ClickBank offer. So we're already inside the Deberoo suite, which is great. So I'm going to go to the advertising suite, to the landing page builder, in which we are going to create our VSL, of course. And I've also got a tab open on ClickBank, of which we are going to grab our offer from, for which we are going to create today's VSL, video sales ladder. And it's most common to use a VSL lander when you also have a VSL on the offer side, all right? Because there is no real video in a VSL, so let me just show you an example of a VSL. So this is an example of a template. I think nothing is changed on this VSL. So this image should basically create the feeling for the user that it is already the video. But there is no video inside the VSL, and we're not going to host huge videos and split test videos on our landing pages. No, we're just going to create a VSL, and then when they click on it, they will get redirected to the actual offer page, where usually they will find the video. So if there's no video on the offer page, it might be a little bit weird if you have a landing page which seems to have a video inside it. All right, so it's not very common to use a VSL lander if you do not have a VSL offer page. So let's go inside of ClickBank and let's find ourselves a offer with a VSL offer page. I do know some of them from the top of my head, but let's just, maybe you have a suggestion, of what kind of category inside of ClickBank you want me to look for, or maybe even what kind of specific offer you want to see in this training today, because there are plenty of offers with VSL. One of which I know has a VSL lander. Well, there are a couple in the spirituality niche. But there is also one very famous in the home and garden, I think it is. Ted's Woodworking is actually not a VSL, I believe. Let's see, I'm doing this from the top of my head, so bear with me here. Actually, it's inside of green products. Right here we have the easy battery. Is that this one? I think it is. Yeah, so this is a perfect example of a VSL offer page. And basically for a offer like this one, like the easy do-it-yourself power plan, you might very much want to create a video sales letter landing page as well, so that the user gets the feeling, hey, I'm gonna watch this video, I just have to click on play. And when they click on play, they will actually go to this page right here, which is where they can watch the video and actually buy the products. All right. So I am seeing no suggestions for any kind of offer. So let's just go with this one. Let's see. So we have the offer page right here. This crazy 45-year-old geography teacher in Memphis, Tennessee, believed he could change the energy world, and somehow he did it. All right, so this is the angle on the offer page. We're gonna take a slightly different angle on the landing page, but keep in mind your coherency of your flow is always the most important part. Now, what do I mean when I say the coherency of your flow? Because that sounds very it doesn't really say anything. It's not something that we can say, okay, this is wrong, it should be that. Your flow needs to be coherent, and that means that from the moment that the user sees your ad, from that first impression all the way to the end of the thank you page on the offer, that should all be one flow. Meaning that if you say, let me get an example here. If you say you're going to lose 50 pounds in a week on your ad, but then your landing page says something completely else, like stay on the weight you are while eating the most junk food that you can. I don't know, it would be a weird offer, but just as an example, right? That user that clicks on your ad because you can lose 50 pounds a week is now dropping off on your lander because your lander talks about something completely else. And that's why we need to create coherency within your flow. But coherency in your flow does not mean that I have to copy and paste it to my landing page. Please do not do that, all right? We're going to create a slightly different approach because in the end, the user that lands on my landing page, on my VSL landing page, knows that it goes to a different page when it tries to watch the video. It notices that he gets redirected. So it's not that big of a deal if we say, oh, you've got to watch this video because it changed my life, and then they click on it, go to a new website, and there it says, I found this perfect method, right? That is a good flow. That's a perfect, fine flow, and it's still coherent as long as you keep it coherent, as long as your copy is what makes it coherent or not, as well as your images, etc., 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 of course. But mainly it's the copy. What are you telling them? And is it coherent with the rest of the flow? All right. So basically, I think this offer is a pretty general and commonly known. But if you don't know this offer, it's basically how can you bring your dead batteries back to life with just one simple trick. And that one simple trick is basically buy a subscription or something or plans. I don't know what it is exactly. I think it's power plants. So that's what we're going to create a VSL for. I'm not going to read this all through. I think we have, it's a lot more value if we're actually going to create the lander. So let's just go ahead and go to the Deberoo Suite landing page builder. And we're going to go to the landing page templates since we're going to start from scratch, of course, starting from a template. I'm going to filter by traffic source, put it on native because today we are focusing on native ads. And then immediately we have two VSLs right here and right here. So the number 4, Nutra VSL 1, that has been for a long time the most used landing page template inside the Deberoo suite, which is pretty cool, and we see it come back quite a lot on the different spy tools as well. Does that mean that it's automatically converting? No, it does not. It will always depend on what kind of landing page you make, what kind of copy you have in it, what kind of image you have in it, and once again, how the coherency of your complete flow is, right? But overall, we tend to see this VSL a lot more often than we get to see this VSL, which is also an option, the Nutra VSL number 2. But I think for today, we are going to go with the Nutra VSL number 1. So let's click on Create Landing Page, and let's call it Affiliate Hustle Life. All right, create it. So here we have that same landing page template again that I showed you just a minute ago, but this time we are going to change everything up. We are going to create a beautiful landing page for that offer that we saw before, which is this one right here. If you want, by the way, ClickBank usually has affiliate page in here. Not every offer has it, but a lot of different offers have the affiliate page here, which can give you some good insight on what kind of audience this product is selling to. Sometimes you can even find swipes in here like this one. So you have some subjects, some bodies, etc. That's mostly for email marketing. But sometimes there is definitely some useful information. So always go over the affiliate page to see if there's any information that you could use for your campaign before you shoot it live. But in this case, there's not too much of it. So let's get to work. Let's start at the top. So we have this logo right here, healthierpatriot.com, committed to your health. Well, obviously that doesn't make any sense for a do-it-yourself power plan efficiency plans, right? For getting that batteries back alive doesn't have anything to do with health. So we're gonna need a new logo. So let's open up Canva. Canva is the image editing tool that I like to use for these kind of designs. Some size, and this is always the tricky part to me. So let's say probably 100 by 400, I guess. If you have any better suggestions for a dimension, feel free to post it in the comments. Let's just give this a shot. And usually I can already tell by looking at this Canva if it's going to work or not. I think these are about the right dimensions, so we should be good with this. All right, so instead of the Health Patriot, we're going to make this into a logo for a, well, what kind of page, what kind of website could post a post like this regarding the do-it-yourself power plan? Probably something in the do-it-yourself niche. I don't think I'm going to make it that specific that I'm going to make it into a power plan, but maybe just something like do-it-yourself that kind of niche. So toolbox might be a cool thing to put on a logo, and I'm going to make it into animation. So these search terms, it's always just a little bit playing around, looking for, what are you actually looking for? That's always the question. To be honest, I don't always know when I start the search, but I do know that I do not look for something with a watermark. So let's see. Clip art is also a very good thing for logos. I like it for logos. Something like this. It even has a transparent background. That's perfect, guys. Let's use this. And then we're gonna just drop it in there. You'll see it will show up at our uploads. All right, so we have that image now. That's good. All right. Cool. I'm gonna paste it on the right corner. And then right here, we're going to make a huge, big, nice piece of text in which we are going to state our name of the website, of the brand, whatever it is you want to call it. I like this font. I always like to use one of these text fonts. We're going to change the color, no worry. But I like this better than just plain text, you know. So I really like the fact that Canva has these designs in terms of text. Let's see, I think we have enough with just one of those two texts. All right, cool. Do it yourself. This is never gonna fit. Do it yourself. Give me some good names for a do-it-yourself website, all right? Feel free to post it in the comments. As we are creating this logo, let me make this a little bit smaller. Actually, Bukhari script. So we're going to do this slightly different. I'm going to add a new heading. And this is the one. Do it yourself. Best plans. That's really the worst name I ever came up with, but okay. Do it yourself best plans collection. Whatever. All right. Cool. Let's make this a lot bigger. The logo is not the most important part of your website, so don't spend too much time on it. But of course, you do want to create a nice looking logo because there still are people who are going to pay attention to it, and it might even increase or decrease the believability of your landing page. So don't spend too much time on it, but make sure that it looks okay. I don't like this. Actually, let's try the red with the underline. A little bit of an overkill, isn't it? Well, okay, let's just go with it, all right? Let's download this. All right, and perfect. And then we're just gonna double click right here and upload it. It's okay, it's okay. Actually, I like it better now that I see it in the page than when I saw it inside of Canva. Like I said, it's not the best logo I've ever created. If you're gonna spend like probably half an hour or so on your logo, you can have a beautiful looking, very graphically, nicely designed logo. But like I said, it's not the most important part of your landing page. So don't spend hours and hours on it. Yeah, just create something nice. All right, so then we have the publisher right here, the publisher box. So in this case, it's Eric Whitfield, which is fine with me, but always make sure that, especially the image, in this case, it looks like a middle-aged white man, and that could be pretty much okay with the offer that we're running. All right, but if you are running let's go back to the weight loss example. If you're running a weight loss campaign on native ads, and your post on your landing page, or the landing page post, is created by Eric Whitfield in this case, right? Because that's how the user will perceive it, as it's created by this guy right here. If this guy created your weight loss landing page, then the believability goes down, all right? Users feel like, especially if you're targeting women for your weight loss offer, then users are gonna feel like, first of all, he's not fat, he's also not extremely fit, and he's a man. So how is he talking about getting the beach body ready, right? That doesn't add up for a user. Once again, it's a small detail. Not every user, most of the users basically do this when they land on a landing page, right? So this is probably the least important stuff. But hey, if you can get one more conversion out of every 100 users that see your landing page, then it's already worth it, right? So let's actually do that. Eric Whitfield is fine for this specific lander. If you're going towards weight loss, I would probably say, especially if you're focusing on women, I would say get a picture of a woman in there. Also, we're going to change this date. So this one says 2019. That's too long ago. We want our content to seem like it's more relevant and more up to date. So let's actually make this into 04/04/2021. Doesn't have to be the date of today, but make it recent, all right? And then the views, yeah, I couldn't care less. That's fine. 400 over 400K is fine, as long as it doesn't say like 3 views or something. Then it's fine. Then we have the headline, probably equally just as important as the image. So those two will probably be the most important parts of this lander. And then we have a little piece of text. As you can see, it's only 3 lines, but a little piece of text and our call to action at the bottom, of course. So let's start with the headline. So let's take another look at the offer page. The offer page has as their headline, "This crazy 45-year-old geography teacher in Memphis, Tennessee believed he could change the energy world, and somehow he did it." Like I said, we're going to take a slightly different approach, but it has to be coherent. So in the end, we will go back to this video basically saying, okay, then I saw this video and it changed my life forever. But we're not going to use the angle that the offer page is using from the point of view of the creator of this power plan. Instead, we're gonna level it with the user and take an angle as if we're the user and how this has helped us through our lives. All right, so let's see. Incredible. I don't even know how to spell anymore. Amazing little do it yourself trick saved me hundreds of dollars. My spelling is off today, guys. I do apologize for that. All right. Amazing little do-it-yourself trick saved me hundreds of dollars. So you already see a little bit of change in the angle when you compare it with the offer page, where the offer page is saying this man created something that changed the energy world. We are taking it on ourselves, as in the writer of the landing page. And like I just said a couple minutes ago, it's from a user perspective. So amazing little do-it-yourself trick saved me hundreds of dollars. All right. We're gonna come back to the image in just a second. First, I want to write this copy. So amazing little do-it-yourself trick saved me hundreds of dollars. It was early in the morning. We're going to make a little bit of storytelling here, all right? It was early in the morning and freezing outside when I walked to my car. When I got into my car, it's probably better. When I got into my car, ready to leave for a very important, what is going to be very important for this guy? For a very important job interview. All right. It was early morning and freezing outside when I got into my car, ready to leave for a very important job interview. I was already a little bit late, so I decided to skip breakfast. However, when I tried to turn my car key around, I noticed that my battery was dead. You guessed it. So let's see. However, when I tried to turn my car key around, I noticed that my battery was dead. Immediately, I was in full stress because I was going to miss my job interview. Luckily for me, at that point, my neighbor walked to his car as well. After he gave me a ride to, nope, actually he's not giving me a ride. Actually, he just showed me the video. After he showed me this video, we were able to fix my battery in just minutes. By now, I have already saved myself hundreds of dollars by simply recharging my dead batteries instead of buying new ones. Check the video to learn how to do it. All right, so we basically have our copy now. Let's read it through one more time. It was early morning and freezing outside when I got into my car, ready to leave for a very important job interview. I was already a little bit late, so I decided to skip breakfast. However, when I tried to turn my car key around, I noticed my battery was dead. Immediately, I was in full stress because I was going to miss my job interview. Luckily for me, at that point, my neighbor walked to his car as well. Let's change this up. And it's probably better. And after he showed me this video, we were able to fix my battery in just minutes. And the best part about it is that I got that job. By now, I have already saved myself hundreds of dollars by simply recharging my dead batteries instead of buying new ones. Check the video to learn how to do it. All right, so what we are doing with this landing page is a slightly different angle on the offer than the offer page itself has. However, we're keeping the flow coherent. So we're getting it outside of a user point of view, where we really dramatize everything. So it's not just a lazy Sunday morning, a beautiful weather and the car won't start. No, it's a job interview early in the morning during freezing seasons in the winter. And at that point, the car doesn't work, all right? So the stress level needs to be high, and the solution thus even greater, all right? So we want to create the same feeling for the user. And we also, with this VSL lander, with this example at least, we want to give the feeling of like, hey, I found this video and it saved my life, and that's why I'm sharing it with you. Instead of, hey, I'm trying to sell this product, so you should watch this because I want to make money because you should buy this, right? So that gets quite obvious quite quickly for the user. In this case, it more feels like a storytelling kind of thing with a little bit of a wink like this could save your life as well. So check it out. It saved me $100. We're kind of mixing two angles at once here, which maybe isn't the best way to do it. So you can probably better either focus on the saving money or focus on the more experienced kind of feeling of like I was almost late for a job interview. So maybe the mix and match won't work as good as them separately, but I guess we will have to check. Now that what there's left to do is changing this image right here. Whoops. I don't know what happened. Let's save it just in case. And let's go back in. Because we still need to change probably the most important part of our landing page, which is the image. So on a video sales letter, the image is going to be the most important part because that's the part where the user needs to click to get redirected to the actual video, right? To the actual video sales letter. So the dimensions. It's always a little bit tough for me guessing this one. But let's see what we can do. Let's make it into 600 wide and 400 height. Let's see how that works. Yeah, that should be about good. All right. And then we're gonna look for a car battery. Why the car battery? Because it's most iconic. Everybody knows what it is. everybody can see that it's a car battery in just a matter of seconds. Now I just want to find a good looking image. And that kind of stuff. If you take an image, a random image like this, you will see a lot of gray and a lot of dark colors. Instead, I kind of want a feeling like I want the image to pop a little bit. And we're going to dial that back later on, and why I'm going to tell you in just a second, because otherwise I might confuse you. But I want some images where we actually have some colors and some contrast, so that it pops a little bit more out of that landing page. So let's actually click on see more and see what we can find here. So I already like the fact that tools with red handles and that kind of stuff is in there, because red pops really good. It's very easy to saturate it without blurring and blowing everything up. So let's see if we have some more. We have some more touches of red here. Nope, that's a logo. Let's see. This might be a good one. Yeah, let's use this. This should be great. Save image. And we're going to upload that into Canva. All right. And inside of Canva, if you drop it into a corner, it will automatically crop like that. It won't always give you exactly the way of cropping that you want. So sometimes you have to do it manually, but 9 out of 10 times it's pretty good. I'm just going to shift it a little bit. The secret little trick that I like to use is the adjust button right here. So with the adjust button, you get all these different options. Some of them I don't ever or barely use. Some of them I like to play around with them. So there's no real way of doing this. There's no real way of saying like, oh, I want my brightness on 69 every time and my contrast on -20 every time. No, it's going to be different on every image. So what I do, I usually just play around with it. Brightness, I'm going to tone it just a little bit down. We're going to put that even more down in just a second, but we'll get there. The contrast can go up a little bit, but as you can see, as you go up, this all goes to black. So we still want to see those parts. So it's probably somewhere around this stage. But because we have put that contrast up, look what that saturation does to his arm and to that red box. So the saturation can be pretty high in my opinion. I like it when it's pretty saturated. I always put the blur in just minus a little bit, in this case pretty much, but it still looks good. Now you don't want it to look like this. This looks weird. Don't do that. Also don't do this, obviously. But somewhere in this range is what I personally like. Now the others that we don't really use. Except for the brightness, we're going to tone it down even more. Actually, I don't think we can tone it down a lot more. It gets too dark at specific places. So we're going to have to keep it somewhere around here. Filter maybe? Nope. No, don't use a filter. I was just trying out. All right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Don't use a filter, guys. Just do it manually. All right, so somewhere like that. Put that saturation back in. And a little bit on the minus blur. Perfect. All right. Now what's left is we want a play button here. We want to give the feeling to the user that they can actually click on this image and start watching the video, which is basically what will happen anyway, because they will get redirected to the VSL lander, and the VSL lander has an autoplay, so it will automatically start playing the video without sound, but they can click again for to turn the sound on. So actually when they click on this image, a video will play. It's just in a different tab. But the user won't really notice it. And besides that, we want to get clicks, so we want to give the feeling that they can watch it inside our landing page, and then when they get redirected, they will watch it there. No worries. So we want a play button here. I've got one in here. So personally, I always like to use the YouTube play button because it's so well known. So you would just search for YouTube play button, and one very important aspect to it is that you want it with a transparent background. All right. So it's going to take some time until you find the perfect one. This one does not have, it does have it. Okay, let's check it out. Did we find it in just one go? You don't want to know how much time I've spent finding that first YouTube play button. It was so easy. Yep, that's perfect. That's exactly how we want it. Okay, so we're going to put it in. We're going to put it in the middle. I'm going to use the adjustment buttons once more because this doesn't really look like the YouTube play button. This looks more like the YouTube play button. All right. A little bit down on that contrast because we still want this shade element, which is now slowly coming back. Somewhat like that. And then we can put the saturation up just a little bit. The blur doesn't do too much on this one, but you can play around with it and see what you like best. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. It is red on red, but I don't really care about that. Whoops, adjust. Now we do need it a little bit less brightness because that button has to be the one that really pops, and the video is always a little bit darkened out before you play. All right, so this is actually looks pretty decent. Let's download it. All right, perfect. And let's go back into our landing page. And we can simply drag that image in there. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. I like it. So now we have basically created our landing page. We have created this logo. We have changed a little bit here, but we haven't changed a lot here, to be honest. So yeah, if you could, and definitely if you need to for some specific offers, change his name, change his image. Also for some specific geos you want to change his name, change his image. So in case you feel like, I don't know what kind of name I should use. For example, maybe you're running in a geo where you're completely not familiar. For example, maybe you're running in Portugal. I got no name. I got no clue what kind of name I have to enter here if I'm promoting this in Portugal. So then it will be most common names in Portugal. All right. So then in that case, our person will be called Francisco, and common last name Portugal. All right, so Francisco Silva, perfect. All right, so created like that. In this case, we have Eric Whitfield, which is a fine name if you're promoting in America or England or one of the English-speaking countries. Then that name should be fine. But please remember that this is a template, which means that this name, Eric Whitfield, is always there as standard when you open this template, as for all the other users of the Deberoo suite. So you might want to change it up a little bit just to make sure that if a user has seen this specific landing before from another affiliate, and the odds are so small, but if a user saw a landing page with the same name, then it might confuse the user or might drain the trust that they have in you and your landing page. But those odds are very small. But always do some research in the name, because if you run with this name in a Spanish-speaking country, it wouldn't make a lot of sense, right? So pay attention to that. Other than that, we have changed the headline. We've changed the image with a YouTube play button. Very important, because this image is going to be clickable, but It won't play a video, of course. It will get them redirected to the offer page right here. So that's a very important one, to get that YouTube play button in a transparent background. Otherwise, you would see a white box around here. And then we have the copy and the call to action. Watch now in this case, but you could